quick video on using the front LCD screen and a single button. And you can reuse these, you don't have to buy anything. You can reuse these off of your stripped GoPro Hero 6. Again, this is a Hero 6. So if you have one of these buttons, you can desolder this and use this as your button. First, you have to make sure that you solder to the right two legs. One way to do it is to just solder to any two diagonal legs. That'll guarantee that you're doing it correctly. However, that might be difficult to put into this case, so it's best to take a multimeter and touch the two legs that don't give you a tone without pressing the button. If they do give you a tone and you solder to those two legs, then that button will always be pressed. That's not what you want. So, alright, so I attached the screen and then I used servo tape like this to attach it to the board. Don't do the whole thing. Don't put servo tape all over the back. You'll never get it off. And I use two strips, so there's two strips back here. So if you took like this and even just cut this in half lengthwise, like you took a length like this and then cut it in half, there's one strip here and there's like one strip here. And then of course this is the hottest part. So alright, that's the screen. And then for the back side, what I did was, I'll zoom in on this. If you can see this, I grounded that pad, the power pad, the power button pad. I grounded it to this little hole, and then I only have this button going from ground, the battery ground, to the button, the record button pad, and then there's my button. So that's pretty simple. And then I added this onto the case. This is where the button's gonna go, and there's a slot so that if you want to later, you can just stick a flat bladed screwdriver or pliers in here, whatever, and slide the button out so that you can take this entire thing out and work on it if you have to. So let's get this in here. So there's now room for this screen and some protection for it because this glass is so fragile, I think. So alright, slide this in here. There we go. Alright, so that screen is now in. So this button will slide in from the top. I snipped off, if you remove it from here, it might not have the legs, but in case it does, I snipped off the legs on this side and kept the ones on that side and soldered to it. Oh, do not put so much solder that the wire or solder touches the outside of the case. There's a little bit of plastic that separates the tab that you solder to. If you get solder and this connects with the top of the case, then it'll be grounded. And if you do the wrong one, then the button will always be pressed. So be careful there. Okay, so that's basically it. I'll just tuck these wires in behind. And then this is my spacer, of course. It's gonna go here, and that should squeeze a little bit. Okay, once you snip that, it'll be neater. And it's also sized for an M3 screw, so you could use an M3 screw and a nut if you wanted to, like a nylon one. Alright, there we go. So you have a single button, reusable, hopefully from your ribbon cable. You do have to, it's not flush, so it's, I guess you could say it's protected from accidentally being pressed, but unfortunately with the print having to hold the button in, you kind of have to get in there with your fingernail. And make sure that button is tactile, that you can feel it being pressed. Some of these buttons are a little iffy. Alright, we'll give it power. And since I grounded the power button pad, it should power up as soon as I put the battery in. There it goes. And then let's see if I can get that record button. And it's recording. So that might be easier. Actually, it is definitely easier than doing the 2-button with LED. Okay, let's stop the recording. There you go.